Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham, a Seattle City Councilwoman who is an openly socialist. And she won last year and she was up for re-election. And was losing because Amazon put $1.5 million into the race. But she just declared victory yesterday, Saturday, November 9th. Here's what happened. This is a victory for all of us. She trailed by a large margin on election night, Tuesday, before passing challenger Egan Orion on Friday. And I'm going to show you the graph in a second and how that happened. Amazon routed $1.5 million through the Seattle Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce's No Limit Political Action Committee, a PAC, to combat Sawant and other candidates. That's Jeff Bezos. Spent $1.5 million to defeat one socialist on a city council in Seattle. That's who Amazon and Jeff Bezos, that's who they are. Because we can't have a socialist on a city council. We might actually have to pay taxes. You know, Amazon. So this is what kills me about this greed. They'll spend this. So they'd rather spend money defeating a socialist on a city council that will make people's lives. She wants to get into rent control and help the home, because rents, like in Seattle, like in LA and San Francisco and New York and all these other cities all over the country, rents are getting out of control, right? They have a homeless problem in Seattle like they do in San Francisco, like they do in Los Angeles, like they do in all these other cities. It's even more prevalent on the West Coast and in cities in the Sun Belt because it's easier for homeless people to live on the streets when it's not 20 below outside. But there's homeless people everywhere. So they would rather spend money, $1.5 million, to defeat a councilwoman rather than they don't pay taxes. They made $11.2 billion in profit. Okay? They made $11.2 billion in profit in 2018, paid $0 in taxes, and they get tax breaks. They don't want to pay taxes. They don't want to spend money on affordable. Like Amazon, Jeff Bezos could go, I'm ending homelessness in Seattle. It's over. I'm building affordable housing. We're going to get people off the street. They're going to get them food and clothing and shelter and clean clothes and medical treatment and mental health and drug treatment if they need it and job training. I'm ending it. I'm going to end it. Nope. He would rather spend $1.5 million through some bullshit loophole to defeat one socialist on a city council. That's the mentality. That's why I say there's the ruling class and all of us. Doesn't matter what age group Bezos is in. Is he a boomer? Is he a Gen Xer? Who cares? Mark Zuckerberg, he's a millennial. What does it matter? They are the ruling class. They are the problem. This is what he would rather do this. God forbid he had to pay taxes. God forbid he made his own employees. God forbid he unionizes and makes millions of people's lives better. He could make millions of people's lives better and doesn't. He spends money like this. And he lost. You lost, Bezos. You spent your money. You think you can buy whatever you want, and you lost. Suck it, Jeff Bezos. Get on your knees and suck it, rich kid. Looks like our movement has won and defended our socialist city council seat for working people against the richest man in the world. He is the richest man in the history of the human race, not just at the top of the heap right now. He is the richest. I've seen numbers, $131 billion that he's worth. I've seen it as high as $158 billion that he's worth. He could peel off $3-4 billion and end homelessness in Seattle. He could take $10 billion, give all of his employees a union wages, health care benefits, and improve millions of people's lives. And he would still be able to have his homes and his jets and everything else. Here's what Bernie Sanders said when it announced Jeff Bezos and Amazon spent $1.5 million to defeat progressives like Vote Sawant. They should have kept their money. The people of Seattle want leaders who will fight to end corporate greed, to make big corporations pay their fair share, and for affordable housing. That's a big thing that she was fighting for, affordable housing. So you know how it seems dark sometimes, like we're getting crushed by the ruling class and everything else? This is what I've been saying this since I've been doing this show, since day one, for 2.5 years, since January of 2017. I'm saying get involved on a local level. Get involved. Yes, getting a progressive in the White House would be huge, but this is big. This is a victory. You don't have to, I don't live in Seattle. You don't have to live there. This is a victory for all of us because you can do this. Seattle's a pretty big city, man. And you went up against Amazon and you won. The reason you won, there's more people in Seattle that give a shit than there are billionaire assholes that just want to pay to stick it to people. Jeff Bezos is so crazy and arrogant. He's a sociopath. Rather than help people, he would rather defeat a socialist, a woman of color. All the identity politics, see how quickly that goes out the window when you're threatening the ruling classes? Disgusting profit margins? You see that? Oh, I'm sure he's all women of color and we got to defeat Trump and oh, we need diversity. Not if it's socialism. If it can actually help people, then fuck that diversity shit. We're going to just stick it to whoever gets in our way. Here's $1.5 million to go stop her. Oh, you lost, Bezos. You asshole. You rich asshole. Here's what happened. Tuesday night is election night. She was down 45 to 54, right? The socialist incumbent gained ground thanks to thousands of votes that were cast by Tuesday night but weren't counted right away. So basically, the progressives didn't vote early. And then look what happened. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, she passed him. And why did she declare victory? They haven't done counting all the votes. Yesterday she declared victory. Why did she? Fewer than 1,000 ballots are estimated to still be tallied in District 3 according to King County elections. Sawant is up 1,500 votes. So even if every single one of these goes for some clown propped up by Jeff Bezos, it ain't enough. The people won. The people won. How do you live with yourself? What do you say when you're this rich to your kids? Well, I tried to stick it to homeless people and working class people, but I couldn't. Is there a kid around? I don't think Bezos has any kids, but don't you wish there was like a 3-4-year-old? You know how kids just speak very directly? But Daddy, why wouldn't you spend $1.5 million to help those people? Oh, shut up, pumpkin. Daddy's a weasel. Sawant said her immediate priority will be to pursue rent control, which is banned under state law, and institute a strong tax against businesses such as Amazon to fund affordable housing and other services. So this is how much of a greedy psychopath Jeff Bezos is. He would rather spend money to defeat a socialist than just pay taxes and fund affordable housing. Like, do you understand, Jeff Bezos? This country has been so deluded and tricked into loving billionaires that if you could be this viewed as this good guy billionaire. If you were like, no, Jeff Bezos, man, he made Seattle. Look what he's done. He's taken all that Amazon money. Oh my God, they've got affordable housing everywhere. All of his employees are paid well. And all that money that he's in, because giving your employees good wages, giving people affordable housing so 50% of their paycheck doesn't all go for rent. Right? It used to be rent, you make it 20 to 25% of what you make is what you should spend on rent. They'd always say like a week's paycheck is what your rent should be. Now it's like 50%, 60%. So you could help make everybody's lives better, and everyone would herald you. Jeff Bezos, he's the best guy ever. Oh my God, Amazon's so awesome, Amazon Prime. And then he just gives all this money away. He helps all these people. No, he just can't handle, he's such a sociopath, like the Clintons and the Trumps and the Bushes and the Obamas. They're all the same. He can't handle having to pay taxes that would make people's lives better that won't affect him at all. It's not like if Jeff Bezos has to actually, if Amazon has to pay taxes, then Amazon's going to go out of business. No, it's not. I applaud this. And again, so if you live in the state of Washington and not even her district, get ready and push for progressive state legislatures in the state of Washington that will help get rid of this current law that bans rent control. And institute a strong, there's no way you make $11.2 billion. You do business in the state of Washington, you don't pay any taxes, $11.2 billion? Washington should have no more homeless people just because of Amazon alone could take care of everything in the state of Washington, the whole state. But it's hard to do when you live in 4 houses. New York City, $7.7 million. Medina, Washington, $91 million. Beverly Hills, $37.3 million. Washington, D.C., $23 million. You need to live in Washington when you own the Washington Post and the CIA pays you $600 million. I'm sure she's a nice person. I'm sure she didn't marry him for his money. They're good people. Am I being too hard on the billionaires? $1.5 million he spent for one city council seat. This is a $75 million Gulfstream. This is Jeff Bezos' jet. Got to be a real shame if he had to actually pay taxes and help people not live on the street and have affordable housing, help working class people. I mean, if you start helping working class people, what's next? Not being able to jump with your jet ski? Jeff Bezos, everybody. A socialist won. Progressives won. This is a victory for all of us. This is why Ron Placone always talks about Gail McLaughlin in Richmond, California, a little city in California, that the city council seats had been bought up by Chevron because Chevron had an oil refinery there and drilling there, right? She got a progressive on the city council and started getting more progressives on the city council. And then they defeated Chevron. You can defeat these assholes. He's just one shithead on an overpriced toy. I've written these. They're a lot of fun. I can't afford one. I rented them, or I went to the person and said, hey, I'll give you free tickets to my show if you let me ride your jet ski. I think I did that in Lake Tahoe. It was a blast. But I wouldn't ride one of these just boom, boom, and then while spending $1.5 million to stop working class people from having decent living conditions. I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you do this and this and this and live with yourself. I don't know how you do it, but you lost. You rich punk, you lost. You get your ass kicked. Do you see how powerful it is that there is more of us than there are of them? Remind these dicks every day there is more of us than there are of you. You like living this way? Maybe we just seize this. Maybe we turn this into a shelter, a homeless shelter. Maybe we let 10 working class families live there instead of you. Like, share, subscribe, folks. Go to GrahamElwood.com for all my tour dates. Australia this week. Ventura, California with Ron Placone, December 13th. December 14th, we're in Hollywood at the Sycamore Tavern. Get your tickets at GrahamElwood.com. And a bunch of cities in 2020. We're going to Seattle. Hopefully we can get that socialist to come to our show. She might be too busy kicking Jeff Bezos' ass, which is a fine reason to miss a show. She might be too busy helping working class people to watch Ron Placone and I tell progressive dick jokes. GrahamElwood.com, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.